You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel. Trufants, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
What up, what up, what up?
Hey, Kel, we're doing good. How about you?
Doing all right. And guess what? We got a doozy this week.
Oh, boy.
So you guys, this is from a wife complaining about her husband. So she goes, my husband was recently out of town and I actually felt no difference at home with the kids. I realized that I'm doing everything. My husband goes to work and starts playing video games when he gets home. I do all the cooking, cleaning, school drop-offs, literally everything. I work as a nurse, so my schedule is to work 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. He works 5 days a week, 40 hours, and makes a little more money than me, which he often brings up. I just never get any breaks or alone time, and I feel like he's not spending enough time with the kids. What should I do?
Dump him. Just kidding. I mean, there's power dynamics, there's gender roles, there's all kinds of things throughout that whole situation. And especially, I have a problem with him throwing in her face that he makes more money. Well, how about I spend more time with your children? So you're a lame dad.
I guess I'm kind of torn on this one, right? I straddle the fence because if we're being fair, and I hate to go back to past shows.
Oh, God.
But that's the only reference I got. Last week or maybe weeks prior, we talked about the power of the PUSSY and how women could withhold and weaponize.
That was last week.
Okay, so if a man, and it's not for everybody, but if a man is standing on his high horse, okay, I'm the breadwinner, even though he only makes a little bit more.
You knock him down.
Okay, but he's standing on what he got. He's using his power to his advantage. It's his prerogative to do that. Right or wrong, that's not for me to say, but
insecure. It sounds like an insecure thing to say.
Doesn't really sound like it.
I make more money.
It doesn't sound like it.
Obviously, he feels some type of way that he has to throw that in her face.
Actually, it sounds like he's fine. The lady, the wife in this situation has the problem. He's coming home, he's chilling, and he's playing video games after a hard day at work, right? No kids.
Oh, no.
And no communication with the wife. But in all seriousness, all she got to do is speak up. And if they're in the right type of relationship where communication is open, then maybe he'll change his ways a little bit. But sometimes you got to meet people where they're at, right? And maybe
no, I'm not meeting you on the couch to play video games while I do everything else and I'm working. It's almost like that's not fair.
Maybe that's
honestly
how she got him. Maybe that's where she met him, and you expect him to change his spots. Or you expect a tiger or a leopard?
A leopard doesn't change its spots.
Zebra
Tigers don't have spots.
To change its stripes?
Zebra doesn't change its stripes.
Right. So deal with it. Or don't.
I don't know.
It'd be one thing if she didn't work and she was just like, whatever. Granted, stay-at-home moms work hard too. I mean, man.
Wait a minute, Kel.
The 24/7
tread lightly.
thing. I just said. You just
tread
heard
lightly.
what I just said. You just heard what I just said. I just said
I can
even
write a book.
stay-at-home moms, it's hard because
smooth.
they deal with the kids 24/7. I just said that. I got you, Jess. Let me live. Let me live before you step on my neck.
Watch out.
You give me
Watch
you give
out.
me the Christian
Lightly,
Louboutin
brother.
heel to the neck and just
To the neck. Not let up.
But it's like, it's the fact that like she works, and it's not that she just works. She's a nurse and she works 12-hour shifts, dude. Like,
That's
come
tough.
on. Like, you gotta help out. Like,
Right.
I've never understood this thing with grown men in video games. Like, I never became one of those dudes. I never fell into that. But like, I don't want to play video games and not spend time with my kids. Like, that's just strange to me.
Exactly. And that's the rebuttal. I spend more time with your kids than you do. I don't care how much money you make. You look like an asshole. You come down, you're avoiding your family. You know, maybe he needs to decompress, but it's not by spending hours or every day playing video games. Like you said, Kel, she is a nurse. Not only is she taking care of people and wiping pee and shit, she probably has to come home and do the same. So it's your turn, sir. And it's all about communication. If she's not speaking up, then I guess that's just your position. I have no idea. But me, never. I am a stay-at-home mom. And please believe Marcus would be practicing from 6, 7 a.m., come home at 5 p.m. I would gently throw all of the kids his way and leave and go work out and go take care of myself. And he happily took responsibility and did the thing. I don't know if you did dinner or anything like that.
Nah.
But
I would do my type of dinner. It would be my type of dinner.
No questions asked. It wasn't even a thing. So I think it's the type of man that you marry, the type of man that he is. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. If she's been putting up for many a year, she can't expect things to change overnight. It really don't work that way. If this man's been coming home and this is his thing, this is his drug of choice. Some guys play golf. Some guys smoke cigars. Some guys go and watch sports, right? To decompress, to get away from the kids, to get away from the wife, just to have some alone time, right? And so I know that women.
She needs alone time too, though.
I know.
That's where it's like not.
She's been letting it go, though. So tell him in a way to where he can understand and don't just try to cut his nuts off immediately. Kind of walk him through it, right?
I'm cutting nuts.
A little compassion for where he's been at as well. He's been living free. And now you're like, okay, things have to change immediately. In most situations, that's going to create more friction.
I'd cut his nuts. I would just clip his balls immediately.
And you might not like the response you get, right? And if we're giving advice,
what's his response? He's going to go play more video games.
We get, if we're giving advice to this couple, let's communicate properly. Let's not come in angry and, throwing kids and breaking video games and all that kind of stuff. Just let's talk through it. You've been at work all day. I understand. I've been here with the kids all day. I got to go to work tomorrow. I got a 12-hour shift. So let's talk through this.
It's compromise.
Yeah. You can play the game for a couple hours.
You got to give a little.
Then you got to get off.
You got to give a little. In any relationship, if we shouldn't even be having this conversation about telling a grown-ass man with kids that he has to give a little. But you got to give a little. But when it comes to your kids, it's just, for me, it's like, I get it. But it's foreign to me just because of the way Marcus is as a dad, as a person. I never had to deal with that. But please, he went through his video game phase.
I would have the kids down there with me sometime.
Right. They would be down there crying and running around.
And with the controller that's not plugged up.
Right. With playing video games. But,
I'm not mad at him. When you talk about mental health and what men need, we tend to get our needs swept under the rug. So if the video games is his thing, cool. Take care of yourself if that's what you need, but make sure you don't neglect.
You neglect your needs. We have needs too. Men's needs tend to get swept under the rug. That's your guys' own fault. It is, because you guys harbor all of this stuff. You guys don't speak up. Well, then whose fault? Men have needs too.
We do.
Oh, we don't.
I'm not saying that. You guys get, we just had Mother's Day. And if you compare Mother's Day and Father's Day, there
is no comparison.
Right. But I'm saying in general.
What is happening right now proves why Mother's Day is the bigger holiday. This dude is coming home, neglecting his kids.
No.
And you know what? Kids don't forget that shit. On top of that, he might not think about that, but when you have a dad that's there but absent, I don't know. Can impact the kids as well. I don't know if it will impact them as much as a father that is completely absent, but having a father that is sitting right there every day but not participating.
That's fair.
Nah,
not good.
Jess, I agree with you because you just know what's funny. I just had this conversation because I had an absent father. Like my dad wasn't around, and you live under the same roof as this cat, but you don't even know this cat. Like you don't even talk to this cat. At least for me, you know what I'm saying? My dad was in federal prison, so there was no way I was going to see him anyway, Yeah. But the fact that like you are underneath the same roof as this person and you don't know them, like that's super fucked up. And I think she has complained about it because she said in the email when she brings it up, he says, well, I make more money. So I think this is a conversation that they have had.
That's so bitch. that is just
that's
so
pretty
bitch.
Foul. Yeah,
that's bitch assness in my Diddy voice.
And then for her to say when he left town, it felt exactly the same.
Damn.
Like that's not good.
So he's not spending any time with her.
What are you gonna say? What do you? Right. It's a whole family neglect. But I bet you he's trying to get in that bed and do what it do. And that's when you withhold.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm back to the video games.
No, you're not.
You don't want to deal with me.
You got to take into account what Kel and I are saying. You need to be a present father, and coming and playing video games because you need to decompress and your needs aren't met. Go get your needs met outside of, leave. Just
go.
Let's
have a real conversation. We don't know, and
He's probably not going to change.
I'm not giving him an out, but what if this man is really struggling with something? Not an excuse, but
and say, to my point, our needs get swept under the rug. Say something.
But it's not that easy all the time. That's unfair.
Okay, well then don't complain about your needs getting swept under the rug. You don't open your mouth.
It doesn't work like that all the time. It's the stigma of you being weak and stuff if you speak up about it. So it's a whole thing.
You're right.
Yeah, it's a whole thing that goes with it.
It's kind of the same for women too. We face that same stigma. We are, especially for Black women, crying and doing all that is viewed as a sign of weakness because we're supposed to be these strong, I don't know what, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, lost my point. But I had one. Well, no, anyways.
I don't think he's dealing with any kind of struggle or issue if his excuse is to tell his woman, well, I make more money. That's not a guy that's struggling with mental health issues.
I was going to say, everything isn't mental health. There are some dudes that are just bitch.
And the thing is, like I say it all the time in relationships, you only go as far as somebody's going to let you go.
And that too.
So now she's speaking up about it. Now's the time to try to come together and try to find a middle ground.
And he's like, baby, I thought we had a good thing going. No, we do not. But again, he needs to consider why
should he? If she's been letting him go for this long.
Those actions, there is a consequence for every action. And that might be your kid saying, Daddy didn't do shit. Why are we celebrating Father's Day like that? So, I don't know. I feel bad because, like you said, she's allowed it. And so he has to want, she can talk all she wants, but he has to have that desire to be with his kids,
right,
to put down Mario Kart and Street Fighter and Zelda and Grand Theft Auto,
Call of Duty,
and Madden, and be with
2K
and 2K, right? I think all the games that you played.
Yeah, I don't play anymore.
I know.
I've been banned from the video game.
Well, you don't have time.
I know.
So, yeah. Oh, I feel bad.
What do you guys think in this type of situation if it doesn't get better? Do you give ultimatums, or do you try to take it to therapy, marriage counseling? What do you do? You know, because I feel like, you know, they have a whole family. There's kids involved, and I mean, shit, it doesn't even seem like he's really involved with his kids. You know, so does it even matter if he was there or wasn't there? But like, I don't know. Like, what do you think would be the next step for her?
I don't get the vibe that he would probably be up for marriage counseling or therapy. I don't know. Just something. I have a feeling that he'd be like, nah, especially if he's going old school, like, I'm the breadwinner. He probably also doesn't believe in therapy and all that kind of stuff. So
you can pray about it.
Right. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Cause you can't change another person. You just can't do it. So he has to have that want. So maybe there's some ultimatums, but if he doesn't care, then she either has to live with it or
she can only control her actions in the beginning, right? So she could start doing or stop doing things, right?
Oh, yeah.
If she's cleaning and cooking and taking care of the kids and the homework and all that kind of stuff, and just slowly start to back off and be like, I'm not doing it. If you don't want to take part in this and you don't want to participate, all right, I don't either. So
that's easier said than done.
We'll see what happens.
Marcus is always there, but there have been times where I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do the little things anymore, and let's see how that goes. But I can't.
Not so much with the kids, because that's unfair.
Because our kids, right? They need that stuff.
But I'm saying stuff that she may do for him, right? Just to kind of
box closed.
Okay, that's cool. But I don't know.
That speaks.
I know, but again, no, let's not have this conversation, because if he's that type of guy and he's like, nothing really matters, I don't care what you do, he's gonna go find it somewhere else. So you close your box, okay, cool.
Okay, well then the marriage is dissolved at that point. If that's fair. Right,
fair, yeah.
If he's that type, so we're really saying that he's a loser all the way around. Pretty much is the consensus here.
Selfish. I would call him selfish, not a loser.
Selfish people are losers.
So let's role play here.
Yes.
Marcus, you're him.
All right.
Jess, you're the hardworking nurse wife.
Mm-hmm.
How would you approach Marcus in saying like, hey, I got an issue with this? And let's say it's been going on for years now and you've kind of let it fester.
I would walk downstairs.
You got to get into your role. You're kind of third person right now. You got to get inside of the.
All right. Well, excuse me. Snatches video game, pours fucking wine on it.
Dude, what's going on?
Get the fuck up right now.
I was right in the middle of my game.
I don't give a fuck. I'm sick of this shit. Like that. Okay. Like literally like that. I'm sick of this shit. You ain't shit. Your kids are up there. They don't think you're shit. What do you think of yourself? Shame on you. Get off your ass. Help me out. I don't give a fuck if you make more money. You think you make more money and you think you're better than me? Get the fuck out.
First of all,
that's always my solution.
But this is my house.
Get the fuck out.
So I'm not going nowhere. I paid for this house. Cash.
Guess the fuck what? I get half. So get the fuck out.
Are you talking about breaking up with me over a video game?
No, over your whole life. Like,
it's not that big
you live a completely
deal.
separate life than the rest of your family.
I just want to come home and chill with a beer and play the game, man. Of course, I love all you guys. I love y'all with everything I got. And y'all can't give me a couple hours to play the video game when I get home? Kids.
You know what? I'm going to give you a couple of hours. And chances are you're going to get old and start to break down before me. And although I'm a nurse, I'm not going to wipe your ass and take care of you. I'm going to put you in a nursing home. Okay? How about that? So start acting right, or you're going to be very fucking sorry. That's it.
Hey, so let me finish this level. If it's like that, and then I'll be upstairs. And then the wife walks out. And then the lady that I've met on the chat room of Call of Duty, I say, I'm going to come meet you later.
There is no lady playing Call of Duty.
So, and the thing is, the catch is that video games is popular. People make a lot of money from video games. And
so
all
you're
types
saying
of
he's going to become a gamer and like make...
And you never know. Everybody got dreams.
What does this guy do? Did she say?
No, she didn't say what he did.
Because she has a selfless job, and
sure.
he just sounds like he has a selfish. I don't know what he does, but it's got to be something.
To me, it doesn't sound like she said much though. She's let this go when he's comfortable. So doing what you just did in the role play situation, you do that enough times, I think that will make him uncomfortable enough. Talk about the kids, talk about him not being involved. If that doesn't move him, then you got decisions to make, right?
Right.
It's a form of neglect. So,
it is. Or the next time he goes on a business trip, you pack all the kids up, you leave all of his favorite things, the couch, the video game, the beer, you leave it right for him. You leave him a note and say, when he is ready to be an active participant in the family, we will come back.
I feel like we always telling people to break up every time we give advice.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it's not meant to, everybody ain't meant to be together. And it's,
agreed.
People are like, oh my God, why don't you just stay working? Fuck that shit. If it's broken, it's broken.
Yeah, but
and if he's not willing to do the work, it's broken.
Threats and ultimatums sometimes work, but for some people, some relationships, it doesn't.
It doesn't. And that's when you really have to think about it. Do I really
what's the time period
want to put up with this shit for the rest of my life?
For the working on it situation, is it?
I don't know. I'd give you immediately. You would need to change.
It's been years though.
Need to change.
They've been stuck in this for years. That doesn't work. That's not realistic.
Well, I'm not a realistic person, clearly.
Well,
so you would have to change immediately.
It doesn't work that way.
I don't have time for that.
So what I'm getting from this is you tell him he ain't shit, you threaten him, and you talk at him instead of to him. All right.
Do you think, I'm assuming that talking to him, again, you said he likes to throw the income in her face. So clearly talking to him, he's talking at her and he's belittling her and he's diminishing her. So I'm about to come in, guns a-blazing, and I'm going to hurt your feelings, or at least try to.
No, that's true.
So
I think for a lot of these dudes too, that be in these kind of situations where, you know, they essentially kind of just neglect their family and neglect the family duties. It's when everybody leaves and all those little things that they were used to somebody else doing for them aren't being done anymore. And then it's like, I miss my family. I want my family back. And it's the you know, the old saying of you don't know what you got until it's gone, you know, and people always want to, you know, well, the grass is greener on the other side. How about you just water what it is the fuck you got? You know?
That's deep. Because people be finding out the grass is not always greener on the other side.
I just want people to be careful though. Like our advice, people listen to everything we say. Our advice is golden. If people are listening to this and they're going to go back to their homes, have these conversations, right? So we need to make sure, no, the grass is not always greener. That goes both ways. If a lady wants to pack up the kids and get out the house.
You're right. The grass isn't always greener, but it sounds like he ain't shit. So the grass might have some shit in it, but it's greener.
Is that a little bit of effort up front? Of course, there is a cutoff line. You got to be like, okay, I can't take this no more. Things aren't changing. I've been talking to you for months, years, and it's the same thing that I can't get a different response. I can't take this. I understand that, but let's communicate try to work this thing out. Yeah, it might get fiery. You might have to say some nasty stuff or some hard truths to try to move the needle a little bit, but let's try first. But I do agree with you.
You can't change somebody, though.
I do agree with you. If it's not being heard and they're not listening and you're so uncomfortable, you're unhappy, if something has to happen.
Sadly. And if he's not there in general, if she leaves, like she said, it's going to be the same difference, except for you guys can go see your dad play video games on the weekend.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll start being active then.
Yeah. No, I don't agree with that saying of the grass is greener on the other side. It's definitely the grass is always green wherever you decide to water it, you know? So, to think that, well, maybe if we just,
that's fantasy,
what you got.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantasy.
Yeah, like it's a pipe dream for sure.
Right. It's a state of mind. It's a, Yeah.
Especially when you have kids involved, but it's like, even us, like as parents, like I could not imagine not being involved with my kids. Like that's just so weird to me and so foreign to me that I would feel like personally such a failure, especially as someone that didn't have a father growing up, around the house.
Yeah.
And then to then just continue that cycle and just know what it felt like for me growing up. And I'm like, I don't want my kids to feel that way. Like that sucks. And to be even worse, like your dad lives under the same roof as you and pretty much fucking ignores you. Like that's fucked up. You remember the book, The Outsiders? Remember the kid when you were a kid? Did you ever read the book, The Outsiders? They had the gangs, the socials, and the greasers. You remember that book when you were a kid? You had to read that in school?
Know the names of the characters. Don't remember the book.
No, we didn't read those. And all that.
Okay, there was a line in that book where the one kid was like, he's like, yeah, because they were in a gang. He's like, yeah, my dad, he hits me and he beats the shit out of me. And the kid said, well, damn. At least your dad acknowledges you.
Wow, that's heavy.
You know, I don't know, for some reason it makes me think about that.
Right.
You know?
I mean, that's crazy.
Trauma. That's trauma.
But at the same time, I understand a child's perspective saying that, but that's not okay.
But that's traumatic from being neglected. He just wants something, even in form of getting slapped around.
That's pretty sad. And just like you, Kel, Marcus, I think he legit has FOMO when it comes to the kids and all of that kind of stuff. He wants to be there. I will never forget when I bought tickets to go to Disney on Ice, and I did not get him a ticket because I just figured, number one, he was tired of going, and I would just go with the girls. He got so
Don't
mad.
Don't do me like that.
He got so upset.
Don't do me like that and leave
that
me
I would leave him out of Disney Princesses on Ice. So
yeah, don't do me like that. Y'all smiling and having a good time, eating cotton candy and
I know.
Shit,
but kudos to you
like
guys for being active and present fathers. Your kids will never forget it. They will grow up seeking, mates that are just like you and, all of that kind of stuff. It's just, I don't know. I think it's great. So that dad that's sitting on the couch, get the fuck up. Right. And be with your kids.
Remember the first event I took my son to when he was little, that was like a live show, was I took him to Peppa Pig, right? And it was Peppa Pig at the Paramount Theater. And I've never in my life have just heard this loud, sustained, just
that is
screaming from kids for like 45 minutes. And I was like, holy, I can't hear anything. They're just screaming. And you
snorting.
Think like they're gonna, but you think they would like stop and like take a breath? But like, no, it's just this sustained just screaming. And I felt like I was like at like an NSYNC concert or like a Backstreet Boys concert or a Justin Bieber show because it's just this loud screaming. But anyway, I feel like that's what Disney on Ice is like. And I know they just had Frozen here in Vegas and my daughter is all about Frozen and like we missed it. And so like, I'm like, oh shit. But there's a new Frozen movie I heard that's going to be coming out. And I'm probably going to be the one having to take her to that.
And
Frozen
you know
3,
what?
I heard it's in the mix.
I'm over Frozen. Like you can't duplicate. Like it. Just stop.
As dads, we really we do want to do this stuff. It's not so much about going to Disney on Ice because I like it, right? It's just to be there with the family, to be a part of the laughter. I was trying to cut him a break. To be a part of the memories. And sometimes I don't want to go, right? But I do it anyway. But it's just like I said, it's because that's what the family time do. And you don't always have that. And I missed a lot of that while I played, et cetera, et cetera. So to be a part and to be there, I mean, it's something I want to do. And I'm a selfless dad, and that's not to...
Kudos to you. Pat yourself on the back.
I got to do it if ain't nobody else going to do it. So
that's right.
That's okay. But
you are.
Yeah, I just got a style. And there's certain dads that got different style. But when it comes, or when it starts to be neglect, that's when it's an issue. And
right. Like, and if your wife is unhappy with your absence.
Supposed to want your wife to be happy. It's a communication thing. Okay, babe, are you not feeling this? Okay, I still want to do it. I don't want you to take this all the way away from me. Okay, I'm not going to do it every day. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 times a week. And then I'll be kicking it with you and the kids. So can you meet me halfway?
Happy wife, happy life.
Not all the time. Everybody ain't got that
sad
setup,
dad, not so bad.
Exactly. They're swept under the rug.
So I know this was a good episode, you guys. I think we all kind of come to the agreement that, you know, this dude's kind of a piece of shit. Like I am, or at least Jess and I, we both agree that dude's a piece of shit. But, you know, I think that fathers and mothers, I'm all about the happy house and the happy family, nuclear family, especially Black family, like both parents in the household. Like I am all about that. But like Jess said, if shit's burnt out and it ain't working, you're going to have to do what you're going to have to do for your own like mental health and for the health of your own kids to see like, yo, look, that example that your dad was showing, that's not a good example of what it's like to be a father. So daughter, you don't want to be with no dude like that. Son, you don't want to be like that because what did your dad really do for you? Yeah. Not really much shit.
And it's good to see your mom not putting up with that.
It shows how strong you are.
Exactly. So, and at the end of the day, like, I mean, shit, she said when the nigga was gone, it felt like exactly the same. So if you were to divorce him, I mean, how different would it actually really feel that he's just physically not there? I mean, I know that sounds extremely fucked up.
She's kind of already gone anyway. If we really,
and that's what happens. Those are the, you know, the 7 whatever that fucking end a marriage, and it sounds like he's checked out,
right?
And so
she's checked out. It don't matter if he's here or not. So it's a cold situation.
I know. Yeah. Don't take our advice though.
No.
But kinda.
I think the advice is good. Keep trying until you can't, right? If nothing changes, then something's got to happen.
Yeah.
A glorified roommate.
There you go.
Yep. A deadbeat in the house. How is that even possible?
Damn.
Sorry.
Shit. Just reminds me. Never mind. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. All right.
Okay.
Nah, we're good. Truly Unruly, Marcus Trufant, Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel. Of course, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform and catch the visual over on YouTube. All you got to do is just search Truly Unruly or search Marcus Trufant on the tube. Of course, catch us every Sunday on Converge. And if you want us to answer your questions, email us trulyunruly_podcast@gmail.com. And we will be sure to bring your questions here on the show and answer all of them transparently, and won't say your name.
I know, so and offend and disrespect, all those things. We're here to do it all.
All those things. And you can DM us also if you have any questions or comments on Instagram at trulyunruly_podcast on IG. Word. All right. I think that's it. Till next time, y'all. Peace. And much love.